masih ya tapi di sini atau di
I'd like to welcome everyone to Garasi, Belmore.
Garasi Belmore.
Asik.
Dan thank everyone who puts this together, because it's quite a special thing that we've managed to create here. And D&D Productions, and also teman-teman, and of course our special visiting people who keep turning up from Indonesia. I mean, it sort of started when Oppie arrived a few months back, and then it sort of snowballed. So we had various events and people coming and sharing in this space. And as always, when we have people together, especially with our background of Indonesia, it's always great to share music and food, like anyone thinks, but also ideas, and just to hang out for a bit of time. So silakan masuk ke Kalamau ya Pak. Ya, lebih enak di situ nanti. Suaranya Sonia mungkin. Yeah. So we're all busy with our lives outside of here. So this is a special moment for us to stop and just take it in. And today we're so lucky to have one of my special people. Indra, I think I heard and met back at Java Jazz. He probably wouldn't have remembered, but I went to see Ron back in '97 or something when you were recording at Senayan, I think it was. And from then on, I was already on the search for the sound that was Indonesia and not of other places. And you were capturing such a wonderful sound of Indonesia. Because often in Indonesia I hear the sound of other places, which is great, but I just fall in love with the sound of Indonesia. So we're very lucky to have Indra here to share his latest sounds, because they're really going all over the place, because he is a global person, of course. But we'd like to thank him for coming, and and we'll talk about who else is with him a bit later. But we've got so many wonderful people. We've got Defa, who's going to join him in a moment, Defa Paramana, and others in the audience. So thank you so much for coming, and please, everyone, just enjoy. Anything else to add, Ari?
I think it's everything.
Okay. Yo. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you for having me today. At last, we've been talking about this for since I don't know when. I think the first time I was supposed to do something with you guys was back in 2006 or something like that. Maybe before that with Pra and Gilang.
Yeah.
And then
Jakarta.
In Jakarta, it just never happened. So
And then the second one is in Bali.
second one in Bali, and then
19. And then
2018.
so yeah, thank you so much for having me and my wife Han here.
Man, the woman behind the man.
Yeah.
Glad you recognize that.
Well, they said that, you know, if you want to have a good long relationship, it's only one what do you call recipe? Just listen to the boss. So yeah, and thank you, Rinaldi, for taking me here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thank you for driving me all the way from the city. So I'm here for, this is my third time this year visiting Sydney, which is kind of like amazing because before that, I haven't really come back to Sydney for a long time. And then suddenly we came back to Sydney since March for 3 times. The first time was actually a family holiday, but that brought to a reunion for me to meet all of my musicians friends back in the 80s. Then came back in May to record an album with Steve Hunter, Dale Barlow, and Andy Ganda. They played with a lot of projects that I did with my dad, and also Steve Hunter was in a band with me, and the band was called Nebula. And here came back to launch the album, September. So it's amazing in 6 months that everything happened like so fast. So it's crazy. So happy about it. So I met Margaret a day after we arrived on the 20th. I think we met 21st. And I said that I really want to do this because we tried to organize it, but we just couldn't find the time. So this is kind of like a last minute thing. But thank you so much for being here with me. It's appreciated, and I hope we can share things together. Yeah, about anything, music probably. So my latest album, Sydney Reunion, is called. It's actually my how do you call it? My 100th release. So it's actually I have released 100.
Wow.
Yeah. And I have to thank my wife because I never count my albums or anything, and she's doing all the dirty work, trying to archive all my work because it's all over the place. So anyway, so yeah, it is very special, this album. But the thing is, why do I make so many albums or so many songs? Because I just can't stop writing. I love writing music. To me, it's something that, I think it's like painting. To me, the process that makes me want to do it again and again. So writing music has been my passion. It's been my thing that I do every day. So it's like going into the studio and write music. It's something that I do every day. Please come in. Yes. Come in. And because I like writing, writing has been my passion. So I think if someone asks me, what do you do? I think that's the first thing I probably will say, that I like to write music. It doesn't have to be a specific kind of music either jazz or pop or rock, or even classical or world music, or whatever comes out on that moment is the music that I write, and sometimes it's never been played. There are a lot of music that I write that's not been played yet. But it's something that I just like to do. Like every day, I just go to the piano and write. Well, of course, now I have the computer that makes it a bit even faster to write. Before, I have to write it on a piece of paper. But now with the computer, I just it makes it much faster. So I could write even 2 songs a day sometimes. It's finished as a finished work. So yeah, that's also that's Ivan Paulus. Yes, please come on. You have your saxophone with you?
Ada.
Yeah, yes. No, just so. That's the thing that I really like to share is about writing can be very exciting, but sometimes I find some students also that just don't know where or when to start to write music. It's something that they just don't know how to actually. How do you compose? How do you write? You know, is it like chord changes or melody verse or? Well, it all depends. There is no like a certain formula that I use when I write music. Yes. More, please come in.
Also comfortable on the floor too.
Yeah, the floor's comfortable.
You might be able to
Get some cushion. There's cushions behind.
Yes.
You can sit there behind that one
Ini
too.
duduk bawah boleh dong.
Boleh.
You can sit on the.
Ya udah,
Iya.
Dari mikro tadi sialan.
Ini VIP.
Yeah.
So yeah, how do I go to studio every day and find new idea or new inspiration to write music? That's probably a question that pretty common. Well, you just have to do it, because if you have to wait for an inspiration, you just don't know, you know. So what I do, I just go to the piano and I will start improvising. But of course, I have a method how to start the improvisation. It's one of the easiest way I'd like to share to you is we all know. We probably here know some scales, right? Like, for instance, a major scale, right? You know, I mean, to me, that scale, it sounded very bright. So once I play that scale, I feel there's like it's sort of like gives me that bright vision, because I think to me it's more brighter than a minor scale, like, you know, or even darker. You know. What I played, those are what we call modes. There's the Ionian modes, Dorian modes, Phrygian modes, Lydian modes. Those 4. Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, and Lydian. So let's just go with this Lydian scale. The Lydian scale to me is it's just like a major scale, but the fourth note is sharp instead of do re mi fa. It's there. It goes do re mi fi. So okay, so let's just stay with that scale. Then I start to, the second thing that I'd like to do when I know that I want to write something with a Lydian, I like to create a vibe. What kind of vibe that I want? Is it the fast vibe, like something like that? I think I got a melody now. Got an 8-bar of theme there, just by setting my mood with the Lydian scale. So I can actually start writing with that theme, which I just made it up. And if I don't like it, I might try something else. So I might take that theme and try to develop the melody into a different chord. By the time I get to there, I might want to change the scale into a different kind of feel or mood. I might change key because I'm sort of like feel that it's supposed to go somewhere else. Trick that can actually work, you take that sort of like theme, rhythmic theme, and then change it to a different key, maybe a we get a tune, guys, and it's called Belmore Garage.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and that theme just sticks in my mind, and I could just, it's actually that boo ba da ba dee, it's that, and we can develop that, and usually for me, that's a nice day already, that I get something down. And I might just put it away and do something else, and maybe one day I come back to it and this is nice. Let's do this, So that's my actually work of life. That's what I do for my life. I just keep writing. I never stop writing. So yeah. Then maybe we could put some words to it. Hi. Hello. Then maybe we could put some words, and of course my wife is better than me in writing words, so we sometimes talk about it and then talk about the feeling of the song, and then what we want to talk about. So it could be a very then it could become something that you actually miss of doing if you're not doing it. You just have to keep doing it. So I think to be a musician, there are a lot of things to become a good musician. There's just so many things that we all know that we need to practice and learn and study. And there's always someone that's better than us anyway, If we try to practice, like it doesn't mean that I'm encouraging you not to practice. You need to practice your instrument. But I think writing and composing is something that makes you unique, because it's something that's really coming from you. I remember I met Chicoria when I was 15. I think I was 15 years. I came up to him. I said, "Hey, Chick, I play the piano." The first thing he asked, "Do you compose?" And I was only 15. And I already composed, so I was happy that he asked that. I said, "I do." And he said, "Keep doing it, because you're gonna have your own sound by doing that." That's what he said. So it was. I kept that. What do you call it? That little short. Patuah, apa patuah itu? Wisdom. Yeah, wisdom. Wisdom words from Chick, and I still keep it until now. It's been more than 40 years ago that he said that to me, and I still feel that writing music is the most beautiful thing that I think every musician should do. You should, yeah. And you don't have to make like a complete symphony either. It could be just a short 8 bars or 12 bars. But that's really good for your mind, it's very good. It's coming, everything that, because we play a lot of things, so it's in your memory anyway. You have so many songs that you learn, you have so many chords that you know. So why don't we just, well, that one method that I showed you, that I shared to you, was just one method. Scales, finding the scale will help you kind of like put you into that vision or feel. But it could be something else. It could be just playing chords with rhythm, you could just like this two chords, major 7 and minor 7. You can actually start with just that and try to feel what comes into your mind. But my favorite is always start from the scale because it sets the mood to me. And it's also one of the methods for most film composers. When they see like, oh, it's a sad scene, and a sad scene is mostly like minor, so you pick like a scale of maybe Aeolian. Composers do that. They pick up scales for a certain scene. Brighter, maybe that Lydian is also bright. Something like that. So scales is probably those modes, Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, usually used by all the great film composers. When I read books about from all the great film music composers, they always talk about that. They always talk about the scales that fits the certain mood of the scene. So yeah, and that works to an ordinary, like making an ordinary song too, you know, because you still need that vision, you still need that mood, you know. Sometimes you come up with a title first, you know, like Flowers, you know, but maybe it's that flowers could be something that it's actually, you know, more like you want to put like a little bit of sadness or romanticness in that title. So the scales can really work. So itu yang saya mau share. I hope today some of you come home and start writing.
Mas Indra, boleh tanya?
Yes, silakan bertanya.
Antara telur dengan ayam,
Yes.
Yang duluan mana? Lirik dulu atau melodi?
Wow, good question. Yes. Sejujurnya saya senang sekali kalau lirik sudah ada. Ya, karena it sets the mood, it sets the story. Itu saya senang. Tapi salah satu juga yang saya suka adalah bareng. Jadi ceritanya sudah ada, liriknya belum ada, ID-nya sudah ada bahwa saya pengen bercerita tentang, let's say kita about someone that you love, for instance, and you know that you want to write this relationship. Udah ada ceritanya, tinggal kita bikin melodi dan lirik bersama. Itu juga bisa menghasilkan sesuatu yang baik, karena sometimes the melody have to adjust with the lyrics and the other way around. If the melody is already done, then we give sort of like a frame to the lyricist to write with the phrase that you want. But if you write it together, sometimes it can be adjusted, and sometimes it comes out better. You know, misalnya ada kita contohnya bahasa Indonesia lah ya, misalnya kita ingin kita mendapat lirik misalnya katakan kita bahasa Indonesia aja ya. Bila engkau ada di sini, misalnya gitu ya. Bila engkau ada di sini, chordnya major di C deh. Misalnya gitu ya. Tapi saya kepengennya nggak mau engkau, saya maunya bila kau. Then I have to adjust the melody, right? Something like that. Then it comes out malah lebih dapat gitu melodinya, lebih gampang diingat, something like that. Yeah. Oke. Ada lagi yang mau nanya? Nggak mungkin, kalau nggak kita jamming.
Kalau mau menciptakan melodi,
Iya.
gimana ya? Kadang-kadang kita suka terjebak sama, aduh ini melodinya ingin tetap dikenang, atau ya kan? Itu apakah kita harus gimana? Konsepnya tuh gimana gitu? Apakah kita biarkan mengalir aja, atau
Iya.
harus dipikirkan benar?
Iya.
Batasannya bagaimana ya?
Sebenarnya kalau menurut saya, untuk supaya melodi itu bisa lebih diingat, itu memang kadang-kadang terbantukan oleh ritmik, rhythm, dan selain rhythm of the melody itu juga bisa menjadi sebuah, banyak lagu yang melodinya gampang diingat karena it's using a method repetition, the repetition method. And I think your dad's song misalnya, Gubahanku, that's using repetition. Dida 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 do. Ya kan, jadi repetition, so one of the Indonesian pop writers, also Melly Guslo, always use that method. Always use that repetition method, like balik lagi langsung it's nempel, because you using the repetition. Yeah. Dalam not just pop song, in jazz also, in jazz also use that kind of repetition.
Ya karena kita terjebak untuk komposisi jazz jadi susah gitu.
Yeah, like Autumn Leaves, that's like. Jobim, a girl from Ipanima's chorus. Yeah, that's a classic method. Yeah, so repetition is one of them. Yeah. Yeah, John.
Johnny Gutel.
Mas, you already have plenty of albums, right?
Yes.
And then you already inside the music industry. So I'm just wondering, every time you make like the first, second, third album, have you think about, on the first album, I just want to make a more commercial. On the second, probably just medium commercial, or maybe the third album, not at all. Just wanna put my my ego on third album. So when the people try to listen third album, it's really hard for them. But for you, this is my skill, it's my ego, everything I'm into it. Have you make album like that? Or you try make all of them commercial? Or maybe depends on the industry, on your manager. Maybe.
That's a good question. Hi JJ, hi Esther. Well, JJ, for those of you who doesn't know JJ, is and Esther, students of the Conservatorium of Music.
Oh, hi JJ.
Yeah, and I've known them for before they. Well, you sort of like from Sydney, and no, were you born in Solo? Yes. Lahir di Solo. JJ saya kenal, dia dari Solo. Saya datang ke Bali untuk belajar piano sama saya, dan sudah dari awal sudah kelihatan bakatnya. So it only took not long until dia diterima di konservatorium.
Good on you.
So, balik lagi ke pertanyaan Bung John. Sejujurnya saya kalau bikin album, saya tidak terlalu memikirkan apakah itu akan berhasil atau tidak di industri. Ya, tidak. Saya harus buat dulu yang terbaik dari saya dulu. Apapun konsep album yang saya ingin buat, mau itu misalnya pop atau jazz, ya itu saya kesampingkan dulu. Ini bakal komersil atau tidak, atau saya kesampingkan dulu. Saya selalu ingin membuat yang terbaik yang bisa saya garap, gitu ya. Nah, ketika itu sudah jadi, biasanya it will speak by itself whether the music is niche market or wider market. Usually the music will speak by itself. Like for instance, album Sydney Reunion, it's an instrumental album. I tried to make the best out of the album, of the music that we play, which is fusion, contemporary, jazz. So I have to make the best out of it. But if I'm producing a pop song, on the other hand, of course I would like to make the sound of the music itu juga bisa mendapatkan the pop feel of dari karyanya. So yeah, so to cut the long answer short, I don't think about it. I just keep trying to do the best out of it. And if I'm lucky, if it's really sells in the industry, it's a bonus. Yeah.
Just do what you love.
Yeah, just do what you love, exactly. Yes,
I was
Margaret.
interested in the modes you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because people probably are not using many modes, but mainly major or, you know.
Right.
So I think those colours that you introduced through the modes are really nice.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
And
It's-
to work with them.
Yeah, it really works with composing
Yeah.
the modes, because it's one of the oldest thing anyway. The modes was actually used back from what, year 500 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, though they all play mostly in white keys at that moment on the piano. But yeah, I was introducing only 4 modes. I was writing song at the beginning just using Lydian, and then I tried to use the Aeolian and the Phrygian.
The second one.
Yeah, the Phrygian. Phrygian's got a very dark sound.
But it's interesting, I find Phrygian is also the sound of Sunda, which I studied.
Right.
And
It's
a
there,
Phrygian,
right?
It's a Phrygian
True.
pentatonic.
Yeah.
Though in
True.
Indonesia, I find to find those sounds
Yeah.
is quite special
Right.
because you have the whole keyboard,
Yeah.
but then you have these 5. You
Right.
can also have like 40, so many
Right.
ideas within
Yes.
such small space.
True.
Yeah.
So like if I play a Phrygian, then I take 5 notes out of this Phrygian and make this pentatonic scale. That's it. Yeah.
Amazing.
Hmm.
You, I really enjoyed your album, which was influenced by Bali when you first arrived in Bali.
Yeah. The Surya Suwana album.
Nice
Yes.
album.
Album, yeah.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
you could feel your response to where you were.
Yes.
Because so
Yes.
much music comes out of
Mhm.
place. So that was so
Yeah. It's
so
really,
reflective of that.
yeah. I should make a CD out of that because it's only out
It's
on
only
a
on,
digital
yeah,
platform.
streaming, on streaming,
There,
yeah.
some people already asked me for that,
Yeah,
but I
because
never
it
really
is.
had.
It's a beautiful album.
Thank you.
What about your Moon Over Asia? What's the
Yeah.
It's quite unique as well.
And that one, yeah.
Yeah, Moon Over Asia was actually deliberately trying to write something
Mm.
using different scales of pentatonics.
Mm.
First is the Chinese pentatonic, you know. You know, I like the intro of the, you know.
Yeah.
So the idea is I like to make some songs that combine all these Asian scales, and that's why I call it Moon Over Asia. And then you go to the Japanese. And then it goes to Indonesian. So yeah. Yeah. So it's actually I was deliberately, but it's also using the same method that I was talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like repetition,
Mm.
picking up a scale, and start creating the vibe.
Mm.
So basically, it's those 3 really: the vibe, the scale, and shifting it. Yes. Hmm.
But is it possible if every song, and for example, you can blend it become like jazz style?
Of course.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because Sotos wrote and composed a lot of original songs and then bring it. And I'm just wondering if it's in the jazz style is possible too.
Hmm. Yeah, I reckon that every song can be played on a different kind of style.
I'm so sorry.
You have to go. Okay. No problem. Main. Gimana?
Bar.
Oh ini dibawa keluar. Wah dingin bro.
Mudah-mudahan nggak jadi saya bilang lagi jadi ya.
You just got it. Call it. Yeah?
Mulai jam berapa?
Jam 7. Wah.
Wah, lari dong. Naik apa? Naik apa?
Kereta. Lebih cepat soalnya.
Lebih cepat, langsung turun circular key. No problem.
Kalau hujan dia gak jadi, jasanya kesini lagi.
Hujan.
Nggak jadi.
Hujan udah.
Lu terus bayar.
Iya.
Makan dulu ya. Makan dulu biar dibayar terus balik lagi.
Kalau datang aja sih orangnya aja deh.
Masuk kamera ini.
There is no nasi pecel over there.
Take away.
Please.
I reckon that semua lagu bisa di aransemen dengan certain style. Because basically song are just song with melody, and you can even change the chord changes for a song kan. Lagu karena possibility to reharm the melody to different changes lebar banget kemungkinannya itu. Jadi ya saya yakin bisa lagu apa saja pasti bisa di aransemen berbeda-beda, cuman ujungnya enak apa enggak itu tentunya masih harus kita that's a challenge, you know, to make it sounds natural gitu, jadi nggak dipaksain.
I just want to share something.
Yes.
My name is Tommy. I was born in Sumbawa.
Sebenarnya ya sudah harus wrap. Jadi thank you so much for semua yang sudah datang pada sore hari ini. Appreciate you being here with me. Hope what I shared hari ini bisa inspire. Thank you. And I'm going back to Bali on Sunday. As I said before, I am here to launch the Sydney Reunion album, which we have some copies if you want to buy.
Oh yeah.
Do we?
Yes.
Okay.
Very limited.
Very limited. very, very special because it's all signed by all the musicians.
Yes.
So, very historical piece of CD.
What is the title of the album?
The title of the album is Sydney Reunion,
Sydney.
which is what it is. It's a reunion of me with all my fellow musicians, friends. We played together since 1982, since I was a little boy.
So is that the quartet you took to Bali in 1982?
It's almost, yeah. It's with Dale Barlow on the saxophones, yeah. But yeah, if you want to buy the album, go to Han. And this album, executive producer is by Ivan Paulus.
Hey, thank you. Thank you, Ivan, to make it happen.
Thank you so much, Ivan, for your wonderful support. It's been a really great collaboration. And it's something that never had in our imagination before we met, and suddenly it happened this, crazily this year. So happy that it turned out really well. The album also sounded really good. The sound of the album, the energy of the album, and also all the playing. It really reflects how long that we were longing to play again together. So it's like it's that feeling, that spirit. and reflected on the music. Yeah, so if you want to listen to the album, you can get them now, or maybe it'll be available online very soon too. But this one is special, it's all signed by other musicians. So thank you again for all of you. I hope to come back soon. Maybe do some more playing.
Always
Yes.
welcome.
Yes, I
Anytime.
would love to. I would love to. It's my second home. It's amazing how I actually missed Sydney.
Between two places.
Yeah.
Iya. Bilang-bilang kalau datang. Tapi tinggal sedia ya.
Kalau mau, we'd like to invite everyone to eat following to share food together once you're.
Finish.
I think
Now?
now
Yeah.
is probably I
Okay.
think now is the time.
There's
We've got one little person who's actually gone to eat
there's
because they're pretty straightforward, and I think we're probably. I think
There's
it's, we have had such a wonderful time with
Oh,
Indra. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your generosity.
Thank you so much. So thank you again. There's a special dinner
Yeah.
available here at the Belmore Garage menu. Thank you again. Thank you so much.
Yeah.